Yo, what's going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to look at the Sunday slate. We had an absolutely killer night on Saturday. As you see here, I went with the full-on core stack. Even though I didn't have a video out for Saturday, posted my advice on Twitter, like I always do on the weekends if I'm not making a video. So definitely follow me on Twitter at the DFS Process. Twitter, I said I was going to be playing Wood and Sanchez and going with the full-on core stack. That's exactly what I did, just ignored the other 3 games. Goldie stayed hot with 2 more home runs. He's on fire. 4 home runs last 2 games. LeMahieu went yard. Story went yard twice. Peralta continued to crush in cores. So all in all, an amazing night. If you want to join the team, you can visit the website, thedfsprocess.com. Cheap lineups, and hopefully this will start us on a huge streak. So let's get right into the picks for Sunday. Before we get into it, please be sure to hit the video with a like and make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. We got an 11-game slate for Sunday, but mainly I'm just focused on cores because it's supposed to be 97 degrees in cores on Sunday, and we saw what kind of impact the hot weather had on Saturday where it was over 90. Offenses were both on fire. The ball was just flying out of the yard, and I expect that same thing on Sunday. And then I also want to get some pieces of the Astros offense against Matt Moore's just been horrible, and it's supposed to be extremely hot in Texas as well, and the Astros do hit lefties well. Those are the 3 teams I really want to target. Unless I'm playing a lot of lineups, which I don't, I would probably get a piece or 2 from the other games, but really just going to be stacking up the cores like I did Saturday. Worked out great, and I think it can work out great on this 11-game slate. But on pitching, we're going to have to sacrifice that pitching. You know, can't get everything, can't get the best of both worlds. We can't get studs at pitching and studs as our hitters. But I think we got a couple of cheap pitchers that I do like today. I'm just going to start with Jose Urena at 6,300. Against the Padres, you know, picking pitchers against the Padres has always been a recipe this season, and it's been working out pretty much every single time that the quality pitcher takes a hill against them. Urena has actually been pretty impressive. Don't let his 1-7 record fool you. Plays for the Marlins, who are just terrible. His ERA is just 4.6. And he's been pretty solid, as you see, especially at home. Hasn't really got shelled in really any game. And the Padres are not one to really shell a team. You know, he did put up over 20 in the 1 start that he had against them, where he went 6 innings, gave up 6 strikeouts. No, I think this definitely can be a similar performance. You know, he's in good form recently. The Marlins ballpark is, you know, one of the best ballparks in the league for pitching. And Padres do strike out a lot, and Urena does have okay strikeout stuff. Not a great strikeout pitcher, but only 6,300. If he can get 6 strikeouts in 6 innings, we'll definitely take it and be happy with that. Second pitcher I got is Brandon Woodruff at 6,000. Now, this guy has been in and out of the rotation. He's only started 3 games this season. As you see here, the ones where he threw 33 pitches, 16 pitches, 15 pitches, and 21 pitches. And 34 pitches were all out of the bullpen. But the starts that he did have, he had 1 great start against Arizona, 1 horrible start in core, so I don't count that against any pitcher, and 1 not too hot start against the Cubs. But he's facing the Phillies team, and the Phillies are just an offensive mess right now. They can't get any hits going. They're striking out at an unbelievable rate. Woodruff does have good strikeout stuff. He has 20 and 19 innings so far this season. And when he does take the hill as a starter, he usually gets a lot of innings. Even in cores when he was getting shelled, he still went 81 pitches in 3 innings. So, you know, he's still going to run a deep pitch count most likely. And the Phillies team, they're not a scary offense. They're probably one of the worst offenses in the league right now. And I think Woodruff at 6,000 does have some upside here. So I think he's a fine option at this price tag if you want to go for a cheap pitcher. Now into the bats we go. First baseman, it's going to be Paul Goldschmidt again. This guy's probably going to be like 1,000,000% owned, but 11-game slate, that should kind of level out the ownership maybe a little bit, but in cash games, expect him to be crazy owned. 4 home runs the last 2 games, and those games were when he was facing a righty, where he has been horrible this season against righties coming into cores. He was hitting under 200. Slugging was about 300 when he was heading before the series started in cores. But against lefties, he's been on fire this whole season, and throughout his whole career, he's been a lefty smasher. This season against lefties, he's hitting .333 with a .730 slugging percentage, And even though Freeland has been good, he's a good lefty pitcher. Goldschmidt is just an absolute lefty smasher, and Freeland does struggle against righties a bit. So I think Goldschmidt, in his recent form, in Coors, in the hot weather, it's another great pick to potentially go yard, not once, but maybe twice again. That would be crazy. At shortstop, second base, I got DJ LeMahieu at 4,600. We do got a couple options at second base. I was between LeMahieu. I think Altuve's a fine option too, but a guy that's leading off for the Rockies in Coors, got the highest implied runs total on the board, and will potentially get maybe 6 at-bats in this game. I definitely want to lock in LeMahieu, who he has been really hot since he's come off the DL. And against Godley, I think that will continue in a plus matchup. Shortstop, I got Nick Ahmed at 3,800. Ahmed is a lefty killer. This season against lefties, he's hitting 292 with a 585 slugging percentage. Against righties, his numbers are way down. And he's coming off a monster game where he had 3 hits. So hopefully he can keep that hot streak going. And against lefties, he usually hits second in the batting order. Today, he hits 7th. Against righties, he hits usually 6th or 7th. But against lefties, he usually hits 2nd. I don't know what the accusation of John Jay will do to that, but I think he'll still hit in the upper half of the lineup. And if that's the case, I want to lock him in. Under 4,000, you're getting a great hitter against lefties, against a guy that, although he's been good this season, hasn't been great against righties throughout his career. So I think Ahmed is another fine option. I think Ahmed and Goldschmidt and the catcher, if John Ryan catches, I think those are the three favorite Diamondbacks I really want to target. And then in the outfield, I got George Springer, 5,100 against Matt Moore. Springer, we all know, has always crushed left-handed pitching, and Matt Moore is a mess. Playing in the heat in Arlington, I'm expecting him to get shelled by this Astros team. Kind of depending on if Correa is in the lineup, and it would make a difference if you're going to be stacking this team, but I think Springer's on an amazing option. Altuve is an amazing option. Bregman at third base is a great option, and then whoever catches for them, it's going to be a fine option here. Springer against lefties this season is hitting 320 with a 613 slugging percentage. And he's in really, really good form lately, hitting 324 with 2 bombs in his last 10 games. So there you have it. Those are the guys I like for this Sunday slate. I'm going cheap at pitching so I can afford the bats I love. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck tonight.